Hey, welcome back to Good Morning Vail. Joining us in the studio from Vail Mountain Rescue, I've got Shane Connery. Good to see you today.
Nice to see you, Mark.
What do you think of it out there?
It's good.
I mean, did you know it was going to snow, or did you just wake up today and look out and you're like, whoa, because that's what happened to me.
No, I was over at a Flight for Life conference at Breck over the weekend, and one morning, Connary was just covered up top, right? So I was kind of expecting it. But it's nice to see the white on top of the mountains.
And I wasn't sure that it was going to drop down this low to the valley floor, so it was kind of a nice little surprise. And it'll go away, and everything's going to get nice and warm again, but it's just kind of a way to kind of get people thinking about the next season. Let's talk about Vail Mountain Rescue. Let's let viewers know what it's all about.
So we're a nonprofit organization that our mission is to help people in the backcountry, right? So you've got your different services here in the valley. You know, Eagle County Paramedic Service, if they can get to your door, they're the ones that are going to respond. If you're on a mountain, Vail Mountain or Beaver Creek, then it's going to be ski patrol. Everything else in the valley, that's us. So we've got a lot of territory to cover, and it covers everything from hunters to hikers to whitewater, and then some really very remote areas that we may need to get helicopter access to.
Let's go that direction next. Helicopter access. Training, obviously, is a big part of. I mean, you can't just do it once and expect to be all good to go. You have to stay on top of it. You had training recently, right? For helicopter
So, just to step back with training, there's three levels of training in the state. Tier 1 is kind of familiarization. You know how to get in and out of a helicopter. You're safe around them. You have good situational awareness. Tier 2, we bring it up a notch, and a lot of teams throughout the state get training in Tier 2. And that's basically you have a backcountry injury and you have to load them up into a litter so that they can be hoisted up into a helicopter. Okay. And then Tier 3, there's only 16 people in the state that are qualified for Tier 3 operations.
Are you qualified?
I'm not. I run the team, but I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not one of the guys that jumps out on the end of the line. 8 are from Vail and 8 are from Aspen.
And these are Vail Mountain Rescue people.
Right. They're Vail Mountain Rescue people, and they're Aspen Mountain Rescue people. And these are the folks that if you get cliffed out on Crestone Needle, or you're in a really bad situation in the backcountry, and someone actually has to lower from a helicopter, then it's one of these 16 people that are going to do it. And we fly with the Army National Guard HATS unit out of Gypsum. Okay. And that's part of why it's our two teams. But very qualified in a lot of training. So I had some pictures of, we had our Tier 1 and Tier 2 training for our team and get everybody familiar. And we do that a couple of times a year. And then our Tier 3 training with Aspen, we do that multiple times a year because it's a kind of a dangerous thing, getting lowered out of a helicopter.
Kind of. Really. And you probably see more of that as an opportunity to have to be used during the winter months. Is that more so or not necessarily?
No, it depends. Our really active season is during the summer when there are a lot of climbers out on the high 14s and they have issues. We had multiple missions. We probably had about 20 missions this year between us and Aspen.
With the helicopters?
With the helicopters. Wow. And you can imagine on the Aspen side with how many hikers had problem on Capitol Peak and all that. There was a lot of helicopter use this summer.
Okay, VailMountainRescue.org, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget our Facebook page.
What is that Facebook page? Vail Mountain Rescue?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Good to see you. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, if you ever need any help, you're ever in a situation in the backcountry, Vail Mountain Rescue is there for you. I've got to look at that weather forecast. Snow in the forecast coming up next.